Question 3. What is the slope of a line that passes through the points 2, 0 and 32, -5? Write your answer in simplest form. So whenever I've given 2 points, I am going to use the formula for slope, which is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm going to label 2, 0 as my first point, 32, -5 is my second point, so this will be x sub 1, y sub 1. This will be x sub 2, y sub 2. I will substitute, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do my y sub 2, which is -5, then x sub 2, which is 32. Switching to green, my y sub 1 is 0. And then my x sub 1, which is 2. Let's get rid of those parentheses and simplify. So this is really -5 minus 0. And then that's simply going to be 32 minus 2. So -5 minus 0 is -5. And 32 minus 2 is 30. Then 5 and 30 I can divide by 5 over 5. And -5 divided by 5 is -1. And then 30 divided by 5 is 6. So our slope for number 3 is -1 over 6. And just by way of review, a negative line goes down and to the right. Example 4. So slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm going to call this one point 1, and I'll call this point 2. So I'll label this as x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. My y sub 2 is -11. Got that right there. My x sub 2 is 4. Switching over to green, my y sub 1 is -1. And then my x sub 1 is 9. There's something special that's going to happen right here, a -1 that's going to switch to addition. So in the next step, when I simplify, I'm going to write -11 plus 1. And then in the denominator, I'm going to do 4 minus 9. So -11 plus 1 is -10. And then 4 minus 9 is -5. And then a negative divided by a negative is a positive 10 over 5. And then lastly, I'm kind of running out of room, is that 10 divided by 5, that actually simplifies to 2 over 1, which would really just simplify to 2. And so my slope is 2, and that's a positive number, and that's going up and to the right. Example 5. Again, we're using the formula for slope. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm going to label that one point 1, and I'll label this point 2. So x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. I am going to go ahead and use blue for my y sub 2. So in goes 1 into that spot. For my x sub 2, I've got -7. So down goes -7. Switching over to green, my y sub 1 is -7. And then my x sub 1 is -7. So we got something to deal with here. That's a negative, and we got something here, which is also a negative. So in the numerator, that's going to be 1 plus 7. In the denominator, that's going to be -7 plus 7. And 1 plus 7 is 8, but -7 plus 7, that's 0. And then recall, when 0 is under the line, notice it's got this fraction bar. There's your line. When 0 is under the line, it is undefined. Now, if it was the reciprocal, if our m, just to give you a quick example, if the m was the reciprocal, and that would be 8 over 0, well, that would just be 0. So a 0 slope is going to look like this, just for review, and that's a horizontal line. But over here, when 0 is under the line, it's called undefined, and an undefined line is simply a vertical line like that. And there's a quick review of how to find the slope from points.